MetaFam. In this video, I want to focus on a huge shout out here to Kurtis over here on Twitter. Huge part of the MetaFam here. He's on Twitter at BleedBlue18. He has an amazing thread here I would like to cover and go over with you here in today's video, so let's get on it. I'm going to deactivate the camera because I just want to focus on his thread, because in case you don't follow Twitter, a lot of my viewers say they don't have Twitter, so I'm going to bring this to your attention for YouTube pleasure. MMTLP, it's time to take the gloves off. It is time to drag those responsible for MMTLP situation into the light. It's time to narrow our collective focus from organizations that have facilitated fraud to the individual names and responsibilities. Hashtag FINRA fraud expose thread. And here we go. We're going to get in this video down here, John Berta, but first, all right, here we go. The Series A preferred share, known as MMTLP, became tradable after a Form 211 was submitted without knowledge or permission of the issuer, TRCH MMAT, and that included fraudulent, outdated information. And this video below is courtesy of Al from Boston. So we're going to pull up this video and watch this here and listen to John Berta, the former CEO of Torchlight Energy, going to confirm this right here as well, guys. So here we go.
In October 2021, I get a call when I'm on my way to Nashville with my wife and friends and said, hey, your Series A pref is showing up in your account with $6 million in value. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I said, granted it has a CUSIP, so I know you can hold it in the account, but why does it have a value? And they said, somebody started trading it. And I said, what do you mean they started trading it? And they said, no, this is trading, same CUSIP, and the ticker is MMTLP. So the hotel, I pull up on OTC markets, MMTLP, and lo and behold, yeah, it's trading. Can't believe it, it's trading. And then I look at the, there's different screens on OTC markets. You can say, you can look at company information. So I pulled up company information. I was like, okay, let's see what they have going on here. All the information was about Torchlight Energy from 2012. Listed me as the president, Tom Lipinski as the CEO, the old board of directors, the old website that wasn't running. All information was ancient information. And so I called OTC Markets. I said, you need to take this down immediately. This is all fraudulent. I don't know who started trading this, but this is fraudulent that this is trading. The company had nothing to do with trading this. I've already verified that. Please take it down immediately. And so I followed up with an email with the same thing, so I would have a record of it. And they sent an email back and saying, nope, FINRA approved it. We're not taking it down. I said, well, it's false information. They said, well, that's how they approved it. That's how we're leaving it. And I said, okay, so that's how you're going to handle it. Huh? And they said, yep, take it up with FINRA. So not having really standing with FINRA anymore, because I'm not an officer or director, the officers of Meta called FINRA and said, why is this trading? And they said, two market makers got together and filed the 15C211 or 211 it's called today, and started trading it, and it was in their rights to do so. And they said, well, the issuer, we didn't, it's in our proxy that this wasn't supposed to trade. And they said, too bad, it's trading. Two market makers get together and trade it. So light bulb went off right then that, okay, we need to investigate what happened on the closing date and what happened with that Series A pref and who actually closed their short and who actually is still short. And so we started doing some investigating.
All right, so there is that there. Going down here to the next part of the thread. Huber used the Form 211 submissions. Introducing Yvonne Huber. Yvonne.Huber@finra.org, 240-386-5034. Vice President, OTC Compliance and Short Sale Regulation. Yvonne previously served as VP of Market Regulation at FINRA. What an interesting crossover of responsibilities. And here you go, Yvonne Huber, Vice President, Short Sales OTC at FINRA. Yvonne Huber is the Vice President, Short Sales and OTC at FINRA based in Washington. Let's keep going here, guys. Kurtis keeps getting into it. I'd like everyone to take a peek at the SEC Roundtable on regulatory approaches to combating retail investor fraud, featuring records comments from Yvonne Huber on pages 80 to 82, 85, 86, 91 and 92, 95 through 96, 99, page 21 through 26 of the PDF. This is going to get juicy. Now, this here has all the stuff in it. Here's the first part here. Page 1 gives you here the document here. United States Securities and Exchange Commission roundtable and combining investor fraud. September 26, 2018 at 9:30 at the SEC. 100 F Street, Washington, D.C. I think we were just there. All right, so continuing here. Ms. Huber has worked at FINRA for over 32 years. She admittedly been around since the inception of the Form 211 process. She heads the OTC compliance team and specializes in surveillance, investigation, and fraudulent activity and short sale regulatory responsibilities. Click on this picture here. So I am vice president in the OTC regulation department of FINRA. I oversee OTC compliance team. I've been working at FINRA for 28 years. And down here at the bottom, 15C211 that were being proposed and subsequently adopted in FINRA had, or NASD at the time, had just started the Form 211 process. Down here on page 81. So I spent the first 5 years of my tenure with organization conducting surveillance and investigation into potential fraudulent activity in over-the-counter stocks. I moved out of the area, 19 years to focus on short sale regulations, heading up the OTC compliance team in addition to my short sale regulatory responsibilities. Page 81. Yeah, we got that. Okay, next part here. Here, Ms. Hubert explicitly states the responsibility of her team, OTC compliance, in reviewing Form 211 applications from broker-dealers like GTS and Canaccord. They look deficiencies, red flags, or discrepancies. Like information from Torchlight in 2012. The OTC compliance team is responsible for reviewing Form 211 applications from broker-dealers who wish to quote securities in over-the-counter markets. Our team is responsible for reviewing these Forms 211 when they are received to ensure that the broker-dealer has in fact met these requirements, and if during our review we find that there are any deficiencies in the information that they have gathered or any red flags or discrepancies in the information, then the issuer will be a letter back to broker-dealer asking them to address those discrepancies. Continued here on page 82, Ms. Hubert states deficiencies and discrepancies addressed by FINRA, broker-dealer. Once we believe the broker-dealer has fully complied with Rule 15C211 and any outstanding deficiencies and discrepancies have been addressed, then we will process the Form 211 to allow the broker-dealer to begin quoting the security. It is really strictly compliance review and ensure that the requirements of the rule have been met. Down here, page 85 features Troy Carlson, SVP at FIG Partners, commending the effort to transition Form 211 into electronic submission. Ms. Hubert calls an additional attention to on us, the broker-dealers, for potential fraud. Is there a theme here? Seems important. Down here you can see Ms. Hubert, I'd be happy to go next. I would definitely agree that the environment is much different today than it was the amendments of first back in 1991. And you think the disclosure issues were inherent? At that time, they're not as a big concern. I mean, with the internet, not that I think there shouldn't be continued disclosed, just they're not relevant in this case. But do I think the rule could be more effective here with a little bit more onus placed broker-dealers just to ensure? Here on page 86, Ms. Hubert acknowledges the red flags aren't typical caught in their submission information alone, but rather their inquiry back the firm for additional information. These flags would not necessarily make themselves evident. They would not be necessary. Something would be observed. They tend to be something that gets observed after we make an inquiry back to the firm, ask certain questions for them to get certain pieces of information. Page 91, my personal favorite quote from Ms. Hubert regarding retail investor protection. This should be good. If you let frauds go through, if you let companies who are frauds be traded and quoted in time, that's going to erode investor confidence. Yvonne Hubert, MMTLP is trading. Fraud is on you. And the reason because of the heart of it, you're really looking for investor confidence. If you let frauds go through, you let companies who are frauds be traded, quoted, in time that's going to erode investor confidence. Wow. Do you need more validation? How about John Berta not receiving those responses back? Why would she answer when the truth reveals either gross incompetence or collusion? You know the answer. John Berta sent this back here on January 5th. Questions he has sent to FINRA at Yvonne Huber and will continue to do so until they respond at MMTLP. You have seen this here probably a handful of times, but this is a good point here to take a screenshot of it if you have not seen it over here on Twitter and look over these questions here. But there is a lot of key questions that John Berta would like to get answered, and we would like for her to answer these questions for John Berta. So there we go, guys. That is the amazing thread by Kurtis. So like I said, huge shout out here to Kurtis, our buddy Blue Bleed 18 here on Twitter. He's always a part of the MetaFam chats. Thank you again, Kurtis, for this amazing thread. If you have not seen it before, I hope you've seen it now here on YouTube. Guys, leave a comment down below. What do you think? Would you like to add anything to this? Hope you all enjoyed today's video, guys. Peace.